Hey guys, what's up? It's Chaos Uchi here, followed by SVN Shippy, and we're here to do a set review of BT-14 Blast Days. I think this is going to be a very important set for Digimon. I think it's almost like a little bit of a soft reset as well. Uh, but yeah, we'll go through all of the cards through this set one by one. So, Frank, you got anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, not much other than that. I kind of agree with you. It's a soft reset because this set introduces lots of cards with the count. Can I say lots? It's a few, but after the starter decks, we've now got this counter mechanic being introduced on some cards in a set. So hopefully we see how that shakes up how people build decks.
Was this the set with the new game designer as well, or is that?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have.
Yeah, according to reports anyway, that it
Yeah.
should be a new one.
Okay, so we'll go through the first card, Koromon. So yeah, once inherit when a card's removed from your opponent's security stack, draw one. I think this is this is a good card. But obviously we have things like BT5 Koromon. So like this is just a good card for generic red decks if you get what I mean. It's whereas like BT5 was archetype specific. And I've seen people say like this is decent for shine if you're gonna go with red base, because I mean I don't think you do in BT14, but usually you swing with Marcus first, so you don't have to swing with shine to get the draw, if you get what I mean.
That's true.
Yeah. Other than that, it's not. I don't really have much to say about it. We can go on to the next one, Bukamon. I mean, I think this card's very, very strong. I think if promo where Gurumon didn't get hit, this card would be like very cracked for Melga, because you can build a lot of sources to have more sources than your opponent by like going X antibodies in your stack, and then yeah, it having jamming is pretty good. I think this card is really good for the Gomamon deck as well, because you having stuff out for them to deal with. I think Gomamon's sort of style of deck will end up being mixed with hybrids quite heavily. So like having something on board and then having a hybrid potentially to go for game, your opponent has to deal with the jamming Digimon that survived the check as well, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, more ways for blue to have jamming is just always causes issues for your opponent, because then they have to choose between just swinging at your security or dealing with your stack, and they're normally going to probably want to deal. If you have jamming, they're going to want to get rid of the body, which means you have a longer time to continue to set up in the back.
Yeah, I think even you could low-key play this with Volforce with like some of the source strip tamers as well, but I mean, I think
when you're still over will be better, because the draw, because you have a blue tamer, will almost always be active.
Yeah,
so
exactly. That's
I think
true.
draw is definitely still more preferred, but jamming is very nice, especially in our forces, because you have jamming area of Vidra. You don't think you really need the Buka, but it could be if you're one of those people that run 5 eggs, you could do a 4-1 and have this egg in.
That's true.
I wouldn't see a problem with that.
Okay, we'll go on to Tokomon. When a card is added to your security stack, draw 1. I think this is probably the best yellow egg Yellow's had in a long time. Like Upamon and Cupidmon, I feel like they're just so restrictive in terms of like the draw power, and they're also when attacking, so you have to swing to be able to get the draw 1, whereas this can just be out, and then you can do things like play a Magna Angemon, any one, the new one or the old one, recover 1, and then bam, that's another draw. So like yeah, I think this is a really good card for yellow.
Yeah, I agree. Just since it interacts so much with security stack, you're probably going to be drawing a lot from this egg if your stack lives.
Yeah,
more than 1 turn.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true as well. I think it's a pretty good one. Tanamon. When an effect suspends a tamer, this Digimon gets plus 2000 for the turn. It's an okay egg. It's like pretty mid. It kind of does the same thing the burger egg does, but I think the burger egg is like better for decks like Gloomlord that obviously are going to play Digimon out by effects, whereas this one might be better for like decks that are more single stack and green, but I mean there isn't really support for something like that at the moment, so
maybe something in the future, but for now this egg is just there, really.
yeah. I mean if there's like a good tamer, and then when you swing you tap that tamer, right? I can see this coming into play, but until then, no. Missimon, this is quite an interesting egg. By returning 3 cards with D-Brigade or Digi-Please from your trash to the top of your deck, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. So this is like to there's a few sort of D-Brigade cards that mill the top cards and then like play a Digimon by an effect through them. So I guess it helps you set up for that. I think this egg is not as useful right now, but with the right support, this egg could be really cracked in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Like just the synergy with placing stuff on top, and then you're on deletion and Commandramon dies and it reveals top 3, and you've stacked it so that you're guaranteed to get another one, and you just loop on deletion Commandramons.
Yeah, the level 6s and there's like if you think a few level 5s that can do something similar to that as well. But yeah, I think we'll see some as we go through the set. Balmon, this is arguably the cutest egg art. When a Digimon with Dark Animal or SOC trait is trashed from your hand, this Digimon may just evolve into that card. I mean that's good because it's like you don't really get the downsides of trashing your hand size. So it's like, I can get all of these effects from trashing a card, but then I can just use that card straight away. So with things like Calling Hit, cards like this are very like wanted. In terms of this archetype though, I don't think it's the strongest, but yeah, we'll have a look at the rest of the card.
Yes.
And we have the main protagonist boy himself, our first super of the set, Agumon. Start of your main phase, if you have Tai, Kamiya in his name, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Greymon from your hand without paying the cost. So I think it's worth noting that it specifically says Greymon as well, so I'd imagine you still want to play all the Greymon X stuff just to get the protection, so it's not as consistent as you might want it to be, if you get what I mean. Sorry, go on.
So I mean, it's very good for just like early pressure. If you want to Agumon and then play a tamer, and then the next turn you raise, you can either maybe into the memory gain Greymon.
Yeah, I mean,
then you're evoing into that for nothing, gaining a memory, and then
I can definitely see that.
Into a Melt Grey.
I can definitely see that, but this card is 100% better than the promo Argu because it literally has the same inherit. So it just completely gets rid of the fact that you need the promo Argu. And for some people, especially if they're new to the game, it might have been hard for them to get that promo. So that's a good way of like almost like power creeping the promo card. But yeah, it depends. Definitely like mid game, this card I can see like super strong because you're always when you need to build another Greymon stack, you should have a normal Greymon in your hand. But like straight off the bat, half your if you think about it, like some people play like 4 to 5 Greymon X, so like that's almost half their level 4s that they can't evo for free off of that effect.
Yep.
We'll go on to Gizamon. Delete one of your opponent's. I mean, I'm not going to say much about this card. I just don't think it's that great, if I'm being honest.
The one attacking is fine, but that's it. It's fine.
I guess it deletes floodgates, and that's great. Doesn't really fit into any archetype. But one thing that me and I said in our chat recently is like none of these cards are just generic. Like, so there's no like base any card that just doesn't have an effect. So at least we're getting stuff that might be useful later on. Gotsumon is the next card. This is the floodgate. That's like Pomu. That's but for red, so that's good. Red has another floodgate. Not much to say about that. Floodgates are like 50-50 on me at the moment because I feel like there's so much removal in the game for like things like this. So it's just like floodgates are a bit mid.
Agreed. They're like they have their uses, but in a lot of decks that struggle with floodgates, they will run removal to just instantly deal with them.
Yeah, and then if you don't, you just lose. So you have to kind of. The next one, I'm not even gonna try to say its name. It's just a bird with jamming. Yay!
Bird what?
I mean, I think this set will be really good to pre-release draft because like you have like things like this, and it's like this is a really good card for pre-release, but I don't see it being like a good card for
Yeah,
an
I think
actual.
bird support will probably have better.
Oh
birds
yeah,
they can use.
I guess it would be alright in the bird deck, but it's a giant bird. I'm not sure if that counts, but
All right, I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah.
I think it is bird in its traits. So I mean, we can always check further on because something might specify just bird, or I might just say bird in trait.
True. Monochromon. We've always had a monochromon blocker. I think this one's okay. It's
It's like the third one.
Yeah, it's like the third one. Yeah, because we have a normal. The first one that's one cost Evo, the dual color one, and now this one. But
Yep.
yeah, it's forecast to drop. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's fine. Blockers don't see much play because, especially around 5k, just deleted without much effort from a lot of decks.
Okay, moving on to Greymon. I think this card is decent. It's a bit of a weird like medium card because like a lot of I spoke to one of my friends called Jordan who plays Greymon decks about this card, and he's like, yeah, he probably would rather play the one cost Evo one. I mean the one that you gain a memory back with.
Yeah.
Over this, but I think this card is more of like an Argubond card, and you'll see like I think there's a Skull Greymon in here, which is like weird Argubond support. So I think they're trying to bring Argubond back a little bit with some of this support. Like this could be a good card in Argubond because it's just with the new tie that's like a 9k swing at security, and then
yeah, they're trying to encourage. I think with a lot because of the Ace cards especially. We'll go over it a bit more about it later, but I think they're trying to encourage swinging with lower DP Digimon by giving them boosts and other means. Because if you get aced on a lower Digimon, I don't think you'll mind as much because then they've used their ace and then you can remove it, kind of thing. Whereas so maybe they're trying to deter building big stacks and raising, and then going out by giving you power on lower level stuff. But yeah, again, the card is relatively mid, so
yeah, exactly. Well, if it's more likely to survive a check, so yeah, it can be aced on. So there's Tyrannomon. Until the end of this turn, when this Digimon will digivolve into a card of Tyrannomon or Dinosaur, reduce the cost by 1. So, I mean, Tyrannomon's slowly getting like lots and lots of more support. It's getting an ace card as well. I don't think it's quite good enough yet to contend with like being even tier 2, but this card is like very interesting because it has Dinosaur. I'm pretty sure that this card could be used in conjunction with Dorbikmon, so I think like this card could be quite useful in a Dorbikmon style deck.
Yeah, the Inherit especially, right? Because it has Dorbik normally has Rush, but it doesn't normally have Blitz, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
So you could, in theory,
also
use it.
The reduction cost is decent as well for it. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a 3-cost Evo level 4 though, which is
painful.
Yeah,
that's bad. That's true.
I think Tirana really needs a rookie that they can Evo for 2-on or something.
I guess it's dual color, so I guess that's why. Also, I like how they're doing the it's with this set, but I don't think a lot of people have touched on it. The new dual color Digivolve symbol, because before it would be like 2 different colors, right? 2 circles, like yellow and purple, or yeah, but now it's just 1 circle with the line in the middle. I like that.
Yeah, and good accessibility features for people with color blends as well by marking on the wheel.
Yeah, on the wheel. Yeah, that's true. Now we get into our first ace card, Metal Greymon Ace. I'd argue this is probably the worst ace card out of the new ace cards that have been revealed. Blast Evolution. So the way that works is like when your opponent is swinging, you have like there's an extra step, which is the counter step, which allows you to basically evolve into this card from your hand for free. And then you get to do its on Digivolve effect, which is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. I think this card is just not really good enough compared to the other Metal Greymons that exist. And then, but
it also has no Inherit, which makes it extra.
Yeah, all the Metal Greymons have really good inherits as well. But yeah, I do like the 4-drop like pop something 6 or less. I can see that coming in handy. Like, that's not too bad, especially if you're bricked up a little bit, and then you just like drop this, and then next time go into your level 6. So,
I mean, I think with the overflow mechanic, more people will be running removal.
Yeah,
Because
I think so.
I paid 6 to get rid of this card. Oh, I gained 3 of it memory back. Cool.
I don't think a lot of people are going to run as much ace as we think they are as well. So I don't think it's.
I mean, you can at most so we've got like 1 per color at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Basically, so you can only really run 4 of an ace in a deck so far.
Yeah.
And if it's in security, it's doing nothing.
Also, I just don't think they're strong enough. Like to want to run for all 4, if you get what I mean. Except for one of them, but we'll get to that card in a minute. Also, I just really like the ace border. I think it looks really nice.
It is very dope. Right,
Mega Dramon, Cyborg, so it can be used in Machine Dramon. Other than that, not much to say. It's okay inherit.
Yep.
Triceramon has raid. I think like with what I was saying before about there's no vanillas. I think they're giving like a lot of the vanillas like for red and for blue. Like, so for red it'll be a raid, and then for blue is evade. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I think this is another card that you'll probably see used in pre-release format and then not outside of it.
I mean, it's a Ceratopsian, yeah, so it might be okay for like shenanigans.
Again, no inherit though, so you don't want to put it under Dorbic. You want to give Dorbic inherits.
I guess that's true. But it's like cards with different names, right? So I mean, I guess it's another card.
Yeah, it's more targets.
You got Dino Rexmon, Secret X Antibody Digimon. On Digivolve Blitz, while your opponent has 1 on memory, can't play a Digimon with 6,000 DP or less, and this Digimon gets. Oh, okay. So, I mean, again, I think this is actually a very strong card for pre-release, but other than that, I just don't think it's that good.
Yeah.
We can move on. Goldramon, 4 Great Dragon support. LOL. When Digivolving, play 1 Amon of Crimson Flames token, red Digimon with 6,000 DP and rush, and then 1 Amon Umon of Blue Thunder token, yellow Digimon with 6,000 DP and blocker. So, I mean, it's the second second Digimon we've ever had tokens with, right?
Yeah, so we've got the third Sukamon, kind of. I mean, Sukamon doesn't really make tokens; he just turns other Digimon into.
Yeah,
Sukamons.
I wouldn't count. Yeah, I wouldn't count Sukamon like this. But I mean, it's interesting that there's more tokens being introduced into the game.
Can't wait to see what people use to represent it.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I just don't think 4 Great Dragons is good enough, really. But this is definitely good support for it.
Something at least.
Yeah, and it's the McDonald's colors, so you can run 4 Blinding Grave, 4 Graph. We'll move on to Otamon. How would you say this? Otamamon?
Otamamon.
Otamamon.
The Otama.
I just think this is like, I don't know if this is a good card or an annoying card. That's all I want to say about it.
Yeah. Just certainly somewhere in that bracket.
When your opponent Digimon attacks, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution cards of that Digimon, so it can really piss off your opponent, and it can put things in range for the removal that Zudamon has as well. So I don't know if you run it in the Gomamon deck or not, but I don't think it's a bad level 3 because of its inherit in the Gomamon deck. And it allows you to get other cards in range for trashing for your Bukamon egg to pop off to give you jamming as well. So I mean, it might be pretty good. We'll move over to Gomamon. Start main phase, choose 1 Digivolution card under one of your opponent's Digimon and trash it. This Digimon cannot be blocked for the turn. This card is really, really good because it makes the deck actually viable. You're able to remove things like Greymon X from a big stack, and then get rid of its a Greymon Dex protection, so you can bounce or bomb deck that Greymon. It's just good at getting rid of like annoying inheritables. It's probably really good in the mirror match as well, to get rid of things that you don't want to deal with inherit wise, like an Otamon. So
This inherit lets you loop it, provided you're able to go up.
yeah, exactly. So when this Digimon will be deleted, you may play a Gomon from underneath this Digimon's Digivolutions cards without paying the cost. So yeah, it just recycles out level 3 if it dies, and that's really strong because I think you, with the Ikakumon and stuff, you just, with this you're removing one, with a Kakumon you're removing two. You should be in range for your egg to pop off with jamming, and then if they swing into your jamming Digimon next turn, you just get to play a Gomamon for free again. So it's good for pushing like aggro, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Siako. It just has evade. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's nice that it's not vanilla, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jessomon. When attacking, choose one Digivolution card under one of your opponent's Digimon and trash it. Then return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon with no Digivolution cards back to its owner's hand. I think this is an interesting one. I think this is like a really this will maybe, it will either get forgotten or have like a place in a deck sometime, because like that level 5 or lower removal just for when attacking is kind of good in my opinion. That's literally
to bounce a floodgate before you go up into what you want to go up to.
Well, I mean, realistically, it depends on what they've put down on the field, right? And how many sources it has at the time. But I mean, realistically, potentially you're just paying 2 costs to bounce any level 5 in the game, which is, I think that's really strong. Ikakumon. This is a very good facilitator of the Gomamon style deck. Choose 2 Digivolution cards under one of your opponent's Digimon and trash them. That's really big that you get to choose 2.
It's not just from the bottom or from the top of the sources, it's picking specifically.
Exactly, and you're guaranteed to get those 2 off, whereas if it was the bottom and someone attached X antibody, you'd only be trashing 1 realistically. So it adds a lot of consistency to this style of deck. When attacking one of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digivolution cards less than or equal to this one, can't attack or block. Oh no, it's just can't attack.
Can't attack.
Yeah, it's just can't attack.
I prefer that to the freeze where you can't even block. Well, you can, but you can't.
This could be just translation issue.
Maybe.
There, so we'll have to be careful on that one. But
and then it just has a repeat of the when attacking effect, but on its inherit as well. So
yeah.
When you ace, when you counter blast Evo.
I mean that when attacking effect's really strong. That's literally why they hit Tommy. So
yeah.
Okay. You can't complain about that. I just think the deck needs a. I think what this deck is missing is top end. But yeah, we'll see some more potential cards for that as people play the deck.
Figure out what you can fit in as the blue level 6.
Exactly. I mean, there's a few like Hexa.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and like Azul Long as well. But there's Geckomon. It's again one of these cards. I don't know if it's good or annoying to deal with. But yeah, definitely helps with the Gomamon style deck or any Soul Strip deck where it's just like really, really annoying when opponents Digimon attacks trash 2 of their Digivolution cards. Yeah, not much else to say besides that. They're literally these cards already exist. The Gecko and the Otama. These are just better versions of them. So. Shellmon has evade. Not gonna say anything about that. I mean, it's just nice that it's not vanilla. Zudamon Ace. I think this is arguably one of the stronger Ace cards that have been revealed in total. Blast Evo. So your things are more likely to survive because they have jamming, and then potentially if they swing at your jamming Digimon, you can then counter with this card and just get rid of the Digimon that's swinging at your jamming Digimon. So if you have the Akakumon and you swung with it and it's suspended because it lived and it has jamming, then your opponent raises out, tries to kill, or not raises out, but you know, the sources that you stripped on one that's out, tries to swing at the Akakumon, you can just bounce it back, if you get what I mean. Also, you could just use it as hard removal because you can just play this card for 4 costs to play it, to bounce anything. Potentially is very strong. So
you won't be bouncing any level 6s for card playing, but if you've worked your way up a stack by using your other little dude so that you evo into it,
yeah,
probably will.
tries to. I mean, it literally just gets rid of Def X as well.
Yeah.
It's like true. Someone plays Def X against you, you just use this to send it back. So it's pretty funny to think that you can just bounce Def X. Marine Devimon, on play, when Digivolving, return all level 3 Digimon back to their owner's hands. I mean, if there's ever a Rookie Rush style deck that just gets super popular again, this card's not bad.
T-Brigade?
I mean, like, wide.
Yeah.
Shogun Geckomon. I think this card's kind of mid. It's like, it's interesting that this is one of the first blockers that just can't, like, get deleted in battle. So yeah, when a Digivolution card of an opponent's Digimon is trashed, this Digimon can't be deleted in battle until the end of your opponent's turn, so you can block and still survive, but you don't usually want to keep a level 5 out. So then there's how would you say it's Plesiomon, right? Plesiomon.
Or Plesioth, yes, it might be Plesiomon.
Trash 3 Digivolution cards under one of your opponent's Digimon. If your opponent does not have a Digimon with equal or more Digivolution cards in play, then this Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. So, I mean, it might be a good top end to the Gomamon deck just to get an extra swing in for game. So you like swing with jamming, and then you evo into this and swing again. But
yeah, again, this is more
fish deck.
Pre-release format.
Oh, pre-release deck. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I just think it doesn't have a home.
Yeah.
Marine Angemon. By returning one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon or one of your Digimon to its owner's hand, return one of your opponent's Digimon with a level less than or equal to the returned Digimon to their hand. And then when another Digimon is returned to hand, recover 1. I think this card is just mid. Like, I don't think Marine Angemon is ever going to be good as a deck.
No one's ever going to run it as a level 6 boss monster.
It's just not it. Alright, we're on to the yellows. Electron. One of your opponent's Digimon get minus 2000 for the turn. I mean, it's nice that it's generic, so it's good for generic yellow decks, but other than that, don't really have much else to say. Chumon, this is good support for the Poo deck. On play, add the top card of your security stack to your hand. Then place one card with Sukamon in its name from your hand at the top of your security stack. So it helps you potentially just set up more Sukamon in the trash to get your King Sukamons out, I guess.
Well, I mean, if you go, once we get a couple cards ahead, you'll see what it synergizes with.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. And then Patamon. I think this card's really strong. This is one of the stronger level 3 SRs. Look at your security stack. Then this Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow Digimon card with vaccine in its trait among them without paying the cost. Then shuffle your security stack. If Digivolve by this effect, you may place one yellow card with vaccine from your with vaccine trait from your hand to the bottom of your security stack. And then it lets you basically gain a memory as well because of the inherit. Yeah, it's just a right. So you'd evo.
It's really it's just a really solid level 3 yellow rookie like that's the min effect is insane. Just a 0 cost evo from your security stack into then placing it back there, gaining a memory. And
I'm not sure how this deck is gonna look, but if it is a hybrid like mix as well, like with TKs and Zoes, you're constantly editing your security anyway, so you'll know what you have in there as well. So I mean,
yeah.
I think yellow has a lot to figure out, but if it figures it out, it can be definitely like meta, like relevant.
Obnoxious recovery deck again.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be that, but like kind of security control.
It won't be as bad as Jet Silty at 4.
It will feel a bit more like security control, I feel like, but a little bit more reasonable, if you get what I mean. Because as you'll see, the removal for this deck is a bit nuts. Sukamon. At the end of battle, play this card without... Oh, okay, so you use it for this one to get the security Sukamon out.
Yeah. So you can basically get a free Sukamon out, provided this one's in your hand when the Chumon is played, but you're having to play that Chumon as well. If it was one that you could maybe... If it was on play or on deletion, that makes sense. So like you turn one, you go into the Chumon, and then next time you raise it and you just swing it.
Yeah, maybe.
And it dies, and then you'd stack your security.
I guess so.
But I guess that's like a cheeky recover one. This way, you're at least paying 3 to add. Yeah, you're paying 3 to then recover.
Well, you're not really. You're adding the top card anyway, so you're just replacing the top card.
Yeah, true.
I think it should just have been when attacking. The Chumon would be a lot more useful. But yeah, the minus DP is relevant because. I don't know how you get so you can kill the
add up to 6k to delete a Sukamon created.
Yeah, when you make them into a Sukamon. Unimon with barrier, so this is yellow's thing now. I think barrier is a kind of a bad effect, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say on a lower level Digimon, inting your security like that is a terrible idea. On a level 60 you want to keep around.
I mean, I think that this Unimon has it just so that you can go into the ace, but I think that's why like the level 4. Yeah. But other than that, it's just like not very strong. Centaurimon. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 3000. Just generic good DP minus. Not much else to say about that, to be honest. Magnamon Ace. This card's pretty good. If you have 5 or fewer security cards, recover 1. Then one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1000 for each card in your security stack for the turn. It being 4 costs to just hard drop as well, I think is really powerful. You can do things like, especially in yellow where you have so many tamers that gain you memory, you're just able to go into a hard drop a Magna probably and keep turn, and then Evo into a Farnimon full down mode and just recover another. So I can see this card being like, I can maybe see yellow moving into like an Angels kind of recovery heavy style deck. But
yeah, I'm glad it at least has the conditional of you having to have 5 or fewer.
Yeah. So
you can't be obnoxious with it.
I mean, but it still doesn't. Well, like you play this, then you recover to 6, and then you Evo into Fani, and then you recover 1 to 7. So it's still kind of bad as well, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And then there's Airmon. If you have 3 or more cards with Sukamon and their names in your trash, you may play one level 6 card with Airmon and its name from your hand without paying its cost. This sounds really good for the Sukamon deck, to be honest, but I'm not really a big fan of it, so I wouldn't know.
I think it's alright. It's a security effect though that you get that, so I guess when the thing dies it places it to the bottom of security.
I didn't even realise it was a security effect.
That's the bottom. So like how much security are you playing around with? Because I suppose if it's at the bottom you should have 3 Sukamon by that point and you're just going to get a 3 level 6 out.
Yeah, I mean that's decent. It's decent. It depends on what the level 6s do, but to be honest with you, I can't remember.
Yeah, the level 6 specific one currently are meh. The best.
Then we have Monzemon. His artwork is arguably one of my favorite artworks from his set. I really like it. Armor Purge, and then on play by placing one card with Numemon in its name from your trash as this Digimon sources gain team memory. So this is kind of like pseudo crossing, almost.
Ever feel like you're ready?
It's basically like crossing.
I'd love nothing more than
You put the Numemon underneath, and then you use, and then it has Armor Purge as well, so it's not bad. And then while this Digimon has Numemon and Monzemon in its name, it gets Sec +1. It's okay. It's not bad.
Certifiably mid.
We have Digimon. Next, on play, when Digivolve, you may place one tamer card from your hand on top of your security stack. All turns when a tamer is played by, you may play one level 3 from your hand without paying the cost. It's interesting. It doesn't say. I think this card is mid, but it's interesting. It doesn't say like a specific color level 3 or anything like that. And then you could potentially like put something on top, like a tamer on top, and then play a Lucamon level 3 and recover one. But I think the meta is too fast for Lucamon to even be in most decks now. So. And then we have Seraphimon. This card is actually like, I think this card's kind of cringe, because it's literally just like a power crept BT-1 Seraphimon, but it's not power crept enough to be meta relevant. Is it BT-1, the one that's like recover 1, then if you have 3 or more, I think it gets Sec +1. 3 or more security. Yeah, but like it costs 4, so you know in Digimon that's quite like it costing 4 is not
you're
not
going
going
to need a tamer to gain that memory back, otherwise you'll probably pass.
I mean, I guess with Akari it's fine, but yeah.
Or the training promos.
Yeah, that's true. They come out in this set for us.
Promos or mem boosts. But it's still awkward.
And then then you have to think about what it's doing. It's recovering 1, then it's going to -7 to something, and then get Sec +1. I guess that's not too bad, but I just feel like it's kind of mid, you know.
Yeah.
We'll move on to green. So we have Kunamon. This card's really, really good. It's just a generic good green searcher. I think if Grandis was still about, this card would probably be definitely worth running in Grandis, because it's just another good searching level 3.
Just grab any green card from the top 3 is super nice, because Grandis is often looking for 1 or 2 specific pieces.
Yeah, it won't see you play and other decks, because it's not like in archetype support, but Grandis doesn't really need in archetype support, so this would have been able to, and the fact they can find anything like memory boost or tamer is really nice as well. So then we have Kodoku Gomon, I guess this is the name.
Kodoku Gomon.
By suspending one of your Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That's not bad, but it being 2000 power is kind of cringe. Other than that, I mean, it's okay. It's literally like Pomumon, right? But it's just on play.
So, but so I suppose I don't think you can. Yeah, it's insectoid, so you don't get to play this off of like Sunflower or anything.
No, you don't play it. You can't play in Bloom at all.
Yeah.
And then we have Palmon. This is a really strong level 3 super rare. You'll probably see you play in Bloom Lord type decks. I mean, I'll be trying it for sure. Unfortunately, it's going to cost a lot of money, because now I need to buy all arts of this when it comes out. Start main phase. One of your opponent's Digimon gain all turns. When this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory. That's really, really strong. It has good synergy with things like Hydra. Has good synergy with things like Quartzmon. You really cannot complain about that start main phase effect. And then when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduced the cost by 1. We started to see this inheritable in BT-14, and it's on a lot of vegetation type Digimon in BT-14. In conjunction with the new tamers that green is getting, this is really, really strong support. makes all of the more usable 2 cost evos into 1 cost, which green loves to have. And then on top of that, with the hit to Blossom, it makes 1 cost Digisorptions for free as well. So it's really strong. You have anything to say, Frank?
No, you are the Bloom expert on that Pokemon, so.
And then there's Kakuamon that has jamming. Again, one of those cards I think cracked in pre-release, not in anything else. Togemon. When you'd play a green Tamer from your hand by suspending one of your green Digimon reduced to cost by 3, this card is very, very strong. It allows you to play Yoshino for 1. It allows you to play Mimi for free. A lot of people were actually hating on the new Mimi, which we'll see in a minute, because it's almost like the same thing as a memory boost. But if you can literally play it for free by suspending one of your Digimon, then it's a lot better than a memory boost is. But yeah, and then you need green Tamers out to get the inherits anyway, so that's why the inherits are a bit stronger. I mean, the Tamers are a bit stronger than the boosts now, but I still think you can have room for both. Yeah, Togemon, you could spit out for free off of a Sunflow, then play a Tamer for free. Like, that's just wild to me, anyway. Yeah, super, super strong. Then we have Adogu, I can't even say it. Dokugamon, I guess. On play, when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then all your opponent's Digimon 5000 DP or less don't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Oh, it's not a bad card at all, to be honest. Decent against like Ricky Rush style decks, like decks that go lower, so not bad. Not bad at all. Leomon. I like how Leomon's slowly getting like little bits of support every set as well. Hopefully it'll be a deck that's a bit more meta relevant in the future, but I still think Leomon's a decent deck, just because it can be quite annoying to play against because of the SR blocker one. But this one has, when attacking, if you attack an opponent's Digimon with higher DP than this one, this Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 card with Leomon in its name from your hand with a cost for a Digivolution cost of 6, ignoring Digivolution requirements. It's a very interesting effect. In conjunction with the Inherit as well, you should be able to swing over most things. It's not bad. Not bad. I just don't think Leomon has any good level 6s in its name. Yeah. I mean, there is one later on, I can see it there, but I still don't think all of the Leomon level 6s are a bit mid, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Bancho and Yellow, I think was BT-14, which is it Bancho? I can't remember, it's whatever one.
Yeah, I think Bancho is the one from BT-13.
Yeah, which is, I think, probably alright Leo, but like, it's just Leomon as an archetype at the moment is relatively mid. They need to give him more stuff on the SR tier or higher. Yeah,
I agree. We have our next ace card, Lilymon Ace. Hand/counter, last Digivolution, so it has all of the same things as before. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then you may return one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less to the bottom of its owner's deck. I feel like this effect is only good against decks that aren't single stack decks, right? So if they have 2 or more Digimon out, then that actual, like the first part of the effect is the usable part, and then the bottom deck in 5000 DP or less is just, if you get it, you get it, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the suspend part's only going to be useful against decks that go a bit wider, and I don't think there is many, to be fair, like nowadays. I don't know. I think we'll see a lot of Wargreymon in this set, but it's easy to play around Lilymon instead of compared to other decks, if you get what I mean. I guess the nice thing about this card is that you tend to have a shit ton of level 4s out because of Bloom Lord, the deck being able to spit out.
I reckon you'll run at least 2 of it
to be honest with you, I don't even know if I would run it at all. But
just for the chi.
I think I'd
Yeah,
have
you
to
probably
test
don't
it.
Need it.
I'd probably have to test it first because it's not getting reduced by. I mean, I guess you blast Evo into it and then that's the reduction. But on your turn, it just kind of feels bad in my opinion. Maybe in combination with the Palmon, then it's a 0 cost Evo because you can suspend something, and then you'll inherit off like the Palmon as well. So you suspend something, then they lose 2, and then they inherit from the Palmon makes it cost nothing. But I don't know. I feel like I'll have to test it out before I can tell you if it's good enough. You get what I mean? There's a Piximon. On play when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon can't unsuspend until the end of your opponent's turn. We're starting to see a bit more of these effects in green. I think they're good. I think it can get to a point where it's really toxic though. So on a normal card like this, I don't think it's too bad if you get what I mean. But yeah, like basically freezing Digimon for the turn can be really annoying, especially if it's unconditional, almost like this. If you get what I mean. So it's like, I guess it'd have to be suspended first, but still, it's just. You got anything to say about stuff like that?
The Piximon's alright. The effect is a good effect, but it is literally having something has to be
Suspended.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be suspended. It can be unsuspended, but that means then if they do swing it,
They can't unsuspend.
then they can't unsuspend it again. So for decks that rapidly unsuspend themselves, it's locked, but yeah, it still makes it pretty mid.
Yeah. It's a fairy as well, so it could be used in Bloomlord, but I don't think.
But you're going to want the Zorps.
Yeah. Okuamon. By suspending one of your Digimon, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 2 green Digimon cards among them from your hand, and place the rest at the bottom of your deck. That's the end of opponent's turn. It's a weird timing for this effect.
Yeah, I guess it's trying to maybe encourage, again, leaving stuff out. But like, if you have this out, it's also arguably worse than the other 2, especially for Grandis. You would never run this for Grandis, so they need to give us. Green needs to get much better.
You could, because you have the Akuamon X as well, so this is like another Akuamon target. But I still don't think it's better than the.
You would just run the 4/4 of the promo and the Akua X, and maybe one other.
Yeah.
Akua, which I think is like a really one that people were running. So maybe you run this one instead, but you're never leaving your stack that's going to turn into a Grandis out.
No, but it's just going to get hit. It's just going to get
deleted.
Yeah, it's just going to get hit. So yeah, it's begging to get deleted. So then we have Leomon. Panjamon. Why does it have this weird rule box on it?
Because that's how they're starting to do the text for this card counts as So this card also treated as having Leomon in its name rather than just having it somewhere on the card text. They're now using a rule box.
Oh, nice.
Which just makes it clearer.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's mid. I don't really have much else to say about it. So I guess the DP boost in combination with the other Leomon's pretty good. Plus 4k is pretty big. You get to suspend something. Other than that, it's just like meh, you know.
Indeed.
Rosemon. When Digivolving, when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. When a Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended by an effect, you may unsuspend this Digimon. This, a lot of people, I've already actually had some people ask me about my feelings on this Rosemon. This Rosemon is not better than Bloomlord, so I wouldn't run it. That's literally my opinion. Like,
yeah, I mean, it has no attack plus no piercing.
It's
no
literally
DP
just
plus.
it's just a worse Bloomlord.
Yeah.
I guess that's because it's a rare, and it does feel like it has a rare's ability. So, I mean, I don't think it's
Yeah, I
designed.
mean, it's fine for what it is,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be used at pre-release and then forgotten about.
Because a lot of people are trying to like run the Rosemon and Rosemon Burst mode, whereas I feel like Bloom Lord and Quartzmon just do both of those things better. So, and then we have Saberleomon. It has piercing. By unsuspending this Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. This Digimon can attack one of your opponent's Digimon end of turn. Is that when if it's suspended as well, though? Or do you think that's just if it's unsuspended?
I'm gonna say you can't, because it just says the Digimon can attack one of your opponent's Digimon at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't think so as well. I was gonna say I was just trying to find any redeeming factor for this card, but I just don't think there is. I think it's just bad. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next cards, the blacks. We have Kakuamon. Kakuamon is this actually a really interesting card, like, because it just looks normal, right? But like black doesn't really have any like generic inherit blockers, and like it has like I think Megidramon or Gigadramon, one of those two, but like it doesn't have many. And then yeah, and then the fact that it's on a level 3 is like really strong, I feel like. So I think that's decent. I think it's a really good Machine Dramon support as well, because like they play like some people play the Guard Dramods, right, to slow the like to try to slow down the game, but like you could just go the 1-cost Evos on top of this, and then you have a blocker. So yeah, but it opens up a lot of doors for black, so it's a really good card. And we have a new Commandramon. We have someone in our team who's very happy about the new Commandramon support. But yeah, let's look at this one. On play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with D-Brigade / Digipolice trait among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck. And inherit is all times when this Digimon will leave the battle area, other than by your effect, by deleting one of your other Digimon with D-Brigade in its trait, prevent it from leaving play. I think they're both really good effects. It's definitely worth playing, because a lot of the time you want to Evo one D-Brigade in raising and then play one out. So like the fact that you get a search and you need, because Commandramon is kind of like Rookie Rush. You just want to play him in and out, and then you start to neg your hand size, where this helps keep your hand size okay. So I think that's pretty relevant. Yeah, I think it's a good card for the deck, and that archetype. We have a Choo-Choo-Mon, so more support for Bagra Army, I guess. On deletion save, and then it has blocker, which is a generic blocker as well, I think. Yeah, so we've got 2 generic blocker Digimon. But this one costs 1 on both colours of eggs, so I guess the Kakuamon's better for generic black decks, but this is probably decent for Bagra Army cards. Don't really have much else to say about it. Numamon, on play when Digivolving, play Tami from your hand. Oh, so this plays one of the new tamers out. And then one of your Digimon gain rush for the turn. That's okay. I think that's really good for helping to facilitate the Rookie Rush style of D-Brigade, but I don't know if you play, or if you have space for all of these other cards in D-Brigade, so
I don't think they would run the Numamon.
yeah.
I think they would run the is he the next one? No, he's in a couple cards.
Yeah. We have a new Damemon, your favorite Digimon, Damemon. I'm teasing Frank about this because he always whiffs Damemon when he plays Hunters. But yeah, it has retaliation. I literally have nothing else to say about this card.
It's just another Bagra Army card.
Yeah, just another Bagra Bagra Army mid support. High Commandramon. This is also treated as a Commandramon, so that's good for searches and stuff. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, then we add 1 card with D Brigade, Digi-Police, with a play cost of 3 or less among them while playing the cost, and place the rest at the bottom. I think this is okay. I don't know if you run this or not again, but like it being a Commandramon is good. And it being a, obviously you Evo, then you recycle 1 card from your hand, which is really good. And then you get to search as well when you attack, and if it lives, you get to do it again. So yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. I think any card that adds cards to hand in like a rookie rush style deck, because you're playing so many cards, I think it's always a good thing. So we have a Vegemon that's black. On play, when digivolving by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the top card of the deck, gain a memory. Sure. Not
yeah,
very.
basically.
Yeah, that's sure.
Not really sure. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, we
Doesn't
can
really have a use.
It might be interesting in the future, but yeah, I don't think it really has much use.
It's packed.
Then we have Datamon. All turns this Digimon can't be deleted by your opponent's effects. Okay, that's also okay, I guess. It's machine and not cyborg, which is kind of sad, I guess, when machines are on, right? Or is it machine or cyborg? Or was it just cyborg? I think it's just cyborgs that they usually want.
I think it's mostly cyborgs.
We have Black King Numemon, which is a very cool name for a card. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and 1 card with Monzemon in its name among them to your hand. Play 1 card with Numemon in its name among them without paying the cost, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck, and it has Inherit Blocker. Again, maybe useful in the Poop deck. I think the Poop deck needs a lot of trial and error before it can really find a place in the meta, you know. Cargo Dramon. Another D Brigade-esque card. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Play 1 card with D Brigade / Digi-Police with a play cost of 4 among them without paying the cost. So that's good. Helps fill out the board while making your way into a level 6. So it's not bad. Yeah, it's kind of similar to the one that we already have from. Is it which one? Is it EX2 that we got more D Brigade stuff in? EX3, that's it, yeah, EX3. It reminds me of the card from EX3, the level 5. Kind of similar. Then we have Vademon or Vademon, something like that. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon for each Digimon card among them. Then return their revealed cards to the top or bottom of the deck. I mean, it's okay. Not bad. Interesting tech card. Then we have Platinum Numemon. On play, when digivolving, trash 1 card with Numemon in its name. In your hand to gain 2 memory. So, okay, so this is a 1 cost Evo basically. On deletion, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with Numemon, Monzemon in its name from your hand without paying the cost. So yeah, if you can play the Monzemon and then use Monzemon's on play effect, you just get like back into a decent level with like with enough memory to Evo up again, I guess. Then we have this guy, Ebemon. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Delete any number of opponents Digimon to. I just think this card is mid. I don't really think it'll see play.
The pre-release pack filler.
Yeah. At least it has an effect.
Yeah.
And then we have Brigademon, which is the new level 6 for Commandramons. When digivolving, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon so that their play cost is total to 7 and delete them. All your opponent's Digimon will all your Digimon will D Brigade gain blocker, so that's not bad. And then end of turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play any number of D Brigade / Digi-Police with a cost of 7 among them without paying the cost. So you could potentially flood board with blockers like when you have to pass turn with this. So it's not. I think it's all right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think we'll see some D Brigade make a resurgence, which means people will try and tech to deal with rookie rushing, which may just ruin the deck, because only the big stacks have the protection. The wide little dudes are not going to have any protection.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, well, you have the decoy one. But other than that, we have a new Gazimon that looks very fluffy. On deletion, gain of memories, it's like another Sukaimon. Not bad. If you need more of them in your deck, you have them now, so that's good.
Fine.
Goblimon, when a card is trashed from your hand by an effect, gain a memory. Again, decent, helps with the new. I think there'll be a new sort of purple loop style of deck that will come out, because there's a lot of cards that now gain you memory when you trash from your hand, so obviously that can help with looping. But we'll see how that looks in the future. Lugamon, the new best boy, everyone's favorite pal. Start main phase by placing his tamer from your trash or hand underneath this Digimon's Digivolution cards, gain a memory. And then when you play a Dark Animal or SOC trait is played, gain a memory as well, inherit. It's pretty good. It basically gives you like 3 inheritables and lets you go, definitely like allows you to go into your level 4 in the same turn, right? Even if you've been memory choked. So and I think the deck starts to pop off if it gets into its level 4 as well, so it's not bad. Do you have anything to say about Lugamon?
No, you said pretty much everything.
We have Fangmon on play when attacking. Return 1 purple Digimon card and then Dark Animal trait from your trash to your hand, and trash 1 card from hand. It helps recycle the Dark Animal deck. Allows you to take cards that you might need from your trash to your hand. So I mean, that's always a good thing. Don't know many Dark Animal cards, so I don't know how good this is compared to the rest of the options you have, but it's probably decent.
It didn't get any support since its original introduction, so that was whenever Grander
okay,
came out.
So then it definitely needs it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ogremon, when a card is trashed from your hand by an effect, gain a memory. This is what I was saying like before. There's a lot of cards that allow you to do this now, so it's really good. Really strong for like purple memory gain decks. Lugamon, by trashing 1 card from your hand, draw 1, and then if the new tamers in this trade gain a memory. So yeah, it just allows you to basically like evo up really quickly if you have the perfect stack for it, if you get what I mean.
You're able to do rookie tamer turn 1, and then you just have the rest as a good solid hand. You can just turbo. Exactly
that. We have Devimon. I feel like this Devimon is kind of setting us up for what's coming in BT-14. It has darker tones to it based off its name. But on play, when attacking, trash top 3 cards in your deck. This Digimon gets plus 1000 for each 3 cards in your trash. That's actually kind of nuts, I'm not even gonna lie. That's actually wild, that DP gain. And then on deletion, trash 1 card in your opponent's hand without looking. I think that on deletion is quite funny.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's pretty goofy.
Hover your fingers over their cards and swipe side to side to watch to see if they lose their poker face before you grab the card.
Yeah, but the DP boost from the trash is very strong. That's kind of...
Yeah, you should be able to get like plus 3 or 4k very easily.
A late game that can easily be a massive swing. We have Skull Greymon. This is weirdly Argubon support, even though it's purple. But you can evo for a free cost on a level 4 Greymon in its name. When digivolving, trash 1 card in your hand, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. And 1 of your opponent's Digimon... delete 1 of your Digimon with the lowest level and 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. You can catch a lot of people off guard with that, to be fair. You know, you just delete an Argu and then delete like someone's left out level 6 potentially. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they've only got 1 other thing out.
And it doesn't have protection, yeah. And then on deletion, you may play an Argu from your trash without paying the cost if you have a tamer with tie in its name. That Digimon gains rush for the turn. So you could potentially play out and argue it has rush, and then you can just go into bond because it has rush. So, I mean, the on deletion is pretty strong, can't lie. But yeah, maybe we'll see a resurgence to argue bond, potentially. Yeah, I like those style of decks, so it'll be interesting to see them come back. Then we have Skull Satamon. Trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. When a card is trashed from your opponent's deck, gain a memory. I think this is good. We'll see the boy in a minute, but this is to help facilitate the new Demon Lord mill control decks. I think this is a really good addition to those decks. So yeah, not bad at all. Then you have, and it's on play as well. So why that's worth mentioning quickly is if you evo into Creepymon, you can play this, and then the on play happens again. If you get what I mean. So that's pretty good. Lugamon, the Lugamon obviously line for the level 5. Delete end of turn, delete this Digimon, draw 2 cards, then you may return 1 Lugamon from your trash to your hand. On deletion, you may trash up to 3 cards of Dark Animal and its trait in your hand, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower. For each card trash with this effect, add 1. I don't really think this card is that good. Maybe I'm missing something, right?
Yeah, I think there isn't very many times where you just want to delete yourself.
Yeah.
For no reason.
And it doesn't. I mean, I know you're replacing yourself with Lugamon, but like, oh no, you're not really. You're just adding it to from your trash to your hand. Maybe with Analog Boy, this has synergy with Analog Boy. So you tap Analog Boy, then you go in raising and build back up straight away. I think that's probably what it's made for, but other than that, I can't really see anything else.
Yeah, good old best purple tamer.
Yeah. We have Soul Lugamon. Okay, so we have 2 different lines for him. So obviously some dark Angry Boy evolutions happening there. When Digivolving, you may play 1 level 3 or lower with Dark Animal trait from your trash without paying the cost. If the tamer is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, add 1 to the maximum level of card you can choose with this effect. By trashing 1 card in your hand, gain 1 memory. That's not bad, unless you start to build up back up again. Yeah, it's not bad. None of them really have like crazy on play effects, so that's kind of sad, but other than that, seems alright. Then we have Ghoulmon. This is literally just Creepymon Part 2. For every 10 cards in your trash, just trash the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck when attacking and when digivolving. And then if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, this Digimon gains Sec +1 for the turn. Yeah, I think it's another Creepymon basically, and it's got good synergy. I think mill control decks are very interesting. I think it can get a bit toxic if it gets out of control compared to what everyone's running in the meta, but yeah, I think having deck out as a win condition is very interesting to me, that we have a win condition that no one normally wins by, and it'd be nice to see more decks abuse that, if you get what I mean.
A lot of people don't regard being milled out as fun.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, also people don't enjoy being timed out by security control. So.
Yeah, I mean, but if someone skillfully decked you out, like on purpose, I feel like that's something different, a bit different. But I can see why it would be annoying. Like if it got enough.
It depends how fast they can turbo trash your deck.
Yeah.
I guess. But it doesn't like it. I don't think it would do it that fast. There isn't a lot of cards that mill your opponents.
Well, like all of the way to do it, you need to leave the level 4, you need to leave the level 5, you need to leave the level 6 out, so you get the on digivolves. So usually that's just if someone's playing against you correctly, unless they're breaking, they should be able to just remove what's on the field, right?
Yeah.
Then we have Fenrir Lugamon. Fenrir. Is it Fenrir?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Not Fenrir.
Fenrir sounds better. Anyway, Fenrir Lugamon. I literally don't care about this guy so much. Like, I haven't really kept up with Seekers that much.
I don't think either of us have read it. Would rather just wait for them to either adapt it or never, and we'll just continue.
Okay.
Be sidetracked too hard.
Yeah, that's true. When Digivolving, you may play one level 4 card with Dark Animal or SOC. What's SOC stand for?
It's like it's the thing from Seekers.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like the Digi-Please, but it's a different thing.
Sure.
In the...
And then if the tamers in the Stitch Revolution cards, add 2 to maximum number.
So you can play out 3 level 4 or lowers from just Digivolving, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, I mean with like cards like Chimera as well, that's pretty wild.
And then he synergizes with if you have his tamer in play, then his one attacking will let you delete something.
Yeah.
And then
you have
for each of your Digimon, you can increase the level that you can delete to unsuspend, and it's deleting your opponent's Digimon to unsuspend as well.
Maybe you could like Chimera loop OTK with this somehow.
And I think your turn condition, I think, is also probably one of the most interesting things about him is that it forces pseudo blitz in that your turn will never end until you get to put your opponent to 3 or more. So it's double-edged sword.
Yeah. I think it's needed though for you to go up
with Evo costs.
Yeah, but I think you can ignore those Evo costs with Chimera. So potentially you could run Chimera and just take a bit of the piss with like what you're doing basically. Yeah, I think it needs a lot of work. I don't know if it will be
more Dark Animal support is what's needed. Like,
well, it has
good, but it doesn't have that many Dark Animals that are good to go around.
I'm pretty sure. I heard someone say, or like, it's definitely gonna have like a level 7 form probably because it's like a protagonist Digimon. So I think like when they bring that line out, probably they'll bring out more like Lugamons and like equivalents as well. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll be good. Because it does seem like an interesting... it's also like one of the only archetypes in the set to get 2 SRs. It's kind of... should be a bit stronger.
Got it as well.
Wait, what got it as well?
Commander. So Brigade is an SR, as is Commandramon.
Oh yeah, it's true. Then we have Taikamiya. One of your Digimon with vaccine and traits gets plus 2000. So I think that's like... so it can be support for the bird deck as well. And then when a card is removed from your opponent's security by suspending its tame and gaining memory, it's basically like the 2-cost tie, but a bit better. I think the card is like okay. I think this is
fine, but the other ties are better.
I think this is again like weirdly kind of good in like a Argubon deck as well. But yeah, and then we have Joe. On play, trash 1 card from underneath your opponent's Digimon. When a card is trashed from one of your opponent's Digimon, suspend this tamer to gain the memory. It's pretty strong.
Basically, always only costs 2.
Basically, always costs 2. And then he also helps you gain memory when you trash stuff later on. So it's pretty good. Very decent tamer. You have a new TK. By adding the top card of your security stack to your hand, you may play 1 yellow card with vaccine in its trait. You may place 1 yellow card with vaccine in its trait from your hand to them.
You can basically stack it for the Patamon, effectively.
Yeah. That's decent. And then when a card is added to security stack by suspending a tamer gaining memory. So you basically this is always almost a 2-cost tamer as well. Yeah. Pretty good, helps consistency with the Patamon deck. Like I said, we'll have to see how it gets solved. Mimi, 3 cost on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon with plant, vegetation, or fairy among them to your hand, and then place the rest of the bottom of your deck. When a Digimon becomes suspended by an effect, suspend its tamer to gain a memory. So this card, like I said, is basically a memory boost almost that you can play for free with a new Togemon, and then it helps you fulfill the requirements to always have a green tamer out, so you always get the reductions of your inherits. And then even if you don't have the reductions of your inherits, when you Digisorb a Digimon, you get to gain a memory, right? So it basically makes things like Cherrymon 0 cost, I think. Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it would make Cherry 0.
Yeah, so it's pretty strong. Then we have the new Waifu Tamer, Secure. Yeah. Start main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. That's always like a pretty strong memory gain, because it's usually an easy requirement to fulfill. Main Mind Link. One of your Digimon with Numemon, Monzemon, and its name, or Digiplease trait, and then you give it one of them, basically jamming or reboot. This is support for the poop deck, basically, right?
Specifically Numemon though, not Suka. And Numemon and Sukamon are basically separate. I mean, I guess you can kind of go Monze on top of Sukamons, but
I think you can mix the two, but I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. But I think this is just, unfortunately, something that's not going to be very strong at all, to be honest. So yeah, and then we'll move on to the tamer for Lugamon. Start main phase. If you have a Digimon, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. Again, very strong, easy, effective to fulfill. Mind Link. Places tamer, and then it gives this Digimon gains Alliance and Blocker. You may play. I don't really like the blocker part of it, because
the Alliance is very nice though.
Yeah, the Alliance is nice, but most of the time you want to swing, right, to get your when attacking effects with the Lugamon line. I feel like.
Yeah. So this Digimon gains Alliance and Blocker, so yeah, you won't really make use of that blocker much unless you haven't killed your opponent, I guess. But the Alliance one, you know, the level 6, if it plays out a bunch, you suspend them using Alliance.
But I do like the Mind Link effect. I think it's a very interesting way to use tamers. So.
Yeah, because they stay under a Digimon, and then on the opponent's turn, they go back to being a tamer. So.
Yeah. So then you still get the star main phase memory gain. So then we have Genai. Old Man Genai. I think if they're gonna double down on Ace and make Ace a lot stronger, this card I can potentially see being like worth a decent amount, like one of those rares like Cool Boy or Yuya, where they kind of are a bit more expensive. Because so on play it lets you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 level 3 Digimon, which is mostly super, like you're looking for your super rare one, which we've seen all the adventure kids get. And then 1 non-white tamer, so yeah, one of the new tamers for the adventure kids. And place them at the bottom of your deck, but its other effect is what's cracked. When your opponent has a level 5 or higher Digimon and attacks, by suspending this tamer, move one of your Digimon from the breeding area to the battle area. So then that lets you be able to counter Ace. And as we've discussed earlier, Ace is a bit easy to play around with removal, whereas the breeding area you can't interact with it. So having Genai on board allows you basically to 100% be able to Ace.
Yeah, my only problem with him is I don't know what decks will find space for him.
I just think if they make an Ace effect that's worthwhile enough, he'll become usable. But it's like one of those weird ones where I feel like until then he won't be, but then when it happens, he'll just like be so useful out of nowhere, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen some people make some interesting stuff out of it. But yeah, any card that has Ace, basically, this deck it could potentially use this one day, but until Ace becomes a bit more usable, then yeah, it won't be. I mean, I think Melga probably uses it the best, to be honest, because it can just rob someone's turn. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. Thank you, Melga.
We have Mega Flame, which is basically a red version of Death Slinger. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. Then if you have a Greymon in its name, delete one of your opponent's with Digimon with the lowest DP instead. That's quite like with the level 5s in the Greymon line, because you have the D-Digivolve kill one, you have the X antibody that costs 1 that kills 1 as well, and you have Altarius as well, so you have 3 ways of popping smaller things on board before you could use this card. So I mean, it might be usable in the Greymon decks, but I think it's a good card. But I don't know if you have space for it, if you get what I mean.
I think they would rather run Hades and have X antibodies to make that a 5 cost.
Yeah, I mean,
because they could potentially wipe more off the board.
Yeah, and plus, like most of the Greymon stuff has deletion as you go up. Then we have Dragon of Courage. This card lets you put a Greymon and Male Greymon from your trash underneath one of your Argumon, and then you can warp Digivolve into a Greymon, ignoring Digivolution conditions, and without paying the cost. But obviously you pay the cost of the option card first, so you pay 4 and then do this. With the tie from Cross Time, this basically lets you keep turn if you have a Memory Tamer as well, because it's when one of your Greymon or Argumon Digivolve, you can suspend the Tamer to gain a memory, but maybe and then but to be honest with you, it's a good card, but at the same time it doesn't do anything unless you have Greymon and Male Greymon in your trash.
Yeah, also it has to be specifically War Greymon here, so Black War gets no use out of it.
Yeah, I mean most of the Black War decks are using the BT-14 War Greymon, to be fair. So, but yeah, I get what you mean. I don't know. It's just one of those things that have to get tested. The security effect's okay because it lets you play an Argumon. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to play the searching one, so it's not bad. Then we have Wave of Reliability. Trash 2 Digivolution cards from underneath one of your opponent's Digimon. And if you have a Tamer with Joe in its name, choose one of your Digimon. If your opponent doesn't have equal or more Digivolution cards than that Digimon, unsuspend it basically. I've heard some people like trying to tech this into O-Force to get another swing, because you can play Joe for free. But like other than that, I just don't think there's any. It's decent for the Gomamon style deck, but I don't know if it's really a 4-of or anything. It's just an interesting card that exists, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say about it, unless you got anything else to say.
No. Nothing for that option, really.
We have Marching Fishies. Choose one of your opponent's Digimon, one of your Digimon, then 3 of your opponent's Digimon with equal or fewer Digivolution cards. Then the chosen one can't attack or block. This is basically, I think is it Innocence Blizzard that does something similar? It's basically like a better version of that.
Kinda. Doesn't Innocence Blizzard bounce? Let me check.
I think there's the one I'm talking about. Like trashes one of a 3 Digimon, and then 3 Digimon without sources can't attack or block.
Yeah, so you trash the bottom Digimon card of all of it. So you just trash the bottom. So yeah, this one, Marching Fishes doesn't do any trashing. You just choose one of your Digimon, and then if your opponents have less or equal, you freeze them. So it does the same thing, but Innocence, well, in a way. So Innocence Blizzard trashes the bottom, and then up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block till the end of your opponent's turn. Whereas Marching Fishes lets you pick your Digimon with your biggest stack, and then if all of your opponents, which they should realistically, if you're playing a source trashing deck, they shouldn't have nearly as many sources as you under any of their Digimon. 3 of them can no longer attack.
Yeah, so it's decent. Basically, I upgraded Innocence Blizzard for the Gomamon one, but it's not bad. Not bad. We'll move on to the Messenger of Hope. This card is actually kind of cracked. Look at your security. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into level 6 or lower Digimon with vaccine in its trait among them without paying the cost. That's just dumb. That's actually just dumb.
Yeah, just like you can either skip a level or you can go into a 6 for 0 if you've. Because with the TK you can stack it, and then you just play this option, and then you just evo into that.
Well, it lets you skip levels.
Wait, it doesn't let you skip levels.
Oh, I was gonna say.
It just lets you not pay the cost. So you
Yeah.
could go in, you could have a 5, you could raise the 5, you could play the TK, tuck something under there that is the 6, and then play this option for 1, and then evo into that, and then get a recovery because you've got a TK out.
Yeah, and you basically play this option for nothing, right? Because then you recover, then you tap your TK.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's actually just wild. That's actually so dumb. I can see this card being like easily abused. Heaven's Knuckle, basically Chaos Deck for 4 cost instead of 8. Activate one of the. Yeah, and you have to delete one of your Angemon, but you know that you'll see why that's not really that bad in a minute. Activate one of the following effects: one of your opponent's Digimon get -6, or by deleting one of your Angemon, place one of your opponent's Digimon at the bottom of their security stack. That's really strong for 4 cost. Just basically removes anything from the game. Then we have Poison Ivy. This card is kind of mid. I just don't know if you can find space for it. We have Poison Powder, I think, which is basically the same card. But it's just they're just trying to make Ice Wall for green, but that's not broken. Flowering Sincerity. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if you have a Mimi, a tamer with Mimi, one of your opponent's Digimon can't unsuspend until the end of your opponent's turn. It's okay. I don't know if you have any space to run it though. That's the problem. So
Truly, you just want to run Samadhi Santi instead.
yeah.
Sam does the same thing.
Yeah, well, for way less as well. So
yeah.
Suka's Curse. Oh, this card is also treated as having Sukamon in its name. That's great. One of your non-white Digimon. It Digivolve into a card with Sukamon in its name for your hand without paying the cost and ignoring Digivolution requirements. So you can play the other one in this deck, because you can use this to ignore color requirements. But
You can ignore color requirements, but it has to have Sukamon in its name.
I guess so. I don't know. The Sukamon deck is confusing. I don't think if it's like trying to be good but bad at the same time. But yeah, this is really good for helping you get King Sukamon's requirement done quicker. So we have DCD Bomb. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then by returning 3 cards of D-Brigade Digipolice trait from your trash to the top of your deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a maximum play cost of 6. So, up to, yeah, so it's not bad. 4 cost Digivolve 1, but I just don't think it's that good. They have way
better security bombs than that as well.
Yeah. It's not touching anything on Oma Flare. So. Then we have Darkwing's Delusion. Trash top 3 cards of your deck. Then one of your Digimon with Devimon in its name gets sec +1 for the turn. So this is basically Darkness Wave, but better for Devimon.
Yeah, specifically for Devimon.
Yeah, that's it. That's actually really good.
Yeah, it can also work with Dan Devimon as well, because it's Devimon in its name.
Yeah, that's true. That's worth mentioning. Yeah, this is really strong. I wouldn't be surprised if BT-14, this deck is tier 1. Pummel Whack. When this card is trashed from your hand, draw 1. That's always really good. We have a lot of cards that we want lots of cards.
Well, we have Underworld's Cool that does that.
Yeah, I mean no, we have a lot of new cards that trash and like draw 1.
Yes,
so.
and do something. Yeah.
Yeah, so delete one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon. It's good at removing floodgates that mess this style of purple deck up a lot, so it's not bad.
Bit more expensive Deathclaw though.
Yeah.
It just has the added benefit of if you trash it, draw 1 back.
And then we'll move on to the secret rares of the set. So we have 2. We have Wargreymon and Angemon, so we'll go for Wargreymon first. Can Digivolve for 4 from a Greymon in its name. So Digivolve 4 is a bit expensive. I don't really like that part. When you have a tamer with tie in its name and your opponent has more for 10,000 more power, your Agumon may warp for the cost of 4, ignoring Digivolution requirements. This Digimon gains raid for the turn, and this Digimon may attack. When this Digimon attacks and you have a tamer in play, this Digimon gains Sec +1 and piercing. It's a weird one. It's a really weird one. I don't know if it's gonna see play, but I can see how 1 or 2 of these in your deck can just randomly like swing games out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean the weird thing is they gave it raid on Digivolve, but they should have also just this Digimon gains raid and blitz, because that's literally what it's doing.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like giving the ability to the Digimon to attack after, which blitz would also do.
That's actually very true. They should have just put blitz on there as well.
Because if somehow the 4 cost didn't pass turn, then the Digimon may attack thing is also irrelevant. So yeah, it should just be raid blitz. But,
I mean, it's okay. I mean,
yeah, it's fine.
I think this actually, to be fair, with this card doing like 2 checks and then a blitz Omni for game, I think you could probably win out of nowhere like that. But I just don't know if it's better than like the new Wargrain one, for example. Okay, we can move on to the last card. Then we have Angemon. This is one of the more interesting secret rares we've seen in a long time. When attacking, by deleting this Digimon, you can activate one of the following effects. Place one of your opponent's Digimon with virus in its trait at the bottom of their security stack. That's really good against virus-based decks. I don't know, we'd have to look at the meta to see what kind of decks that might affect, but whatever comes to mind straight away. Is Machine Dramon virus? It must be, right?
I don't know off the top of my head.
But yeah, like it'd be a good...
Lugamon is virus.
I don't think you're gonna
Just
really
in this
play
set.
against that many Lugamons, to be fair. But yeah, Bilzamon is virus, so you can bottom deck a Bilzamon. Oh, not bottom deck, bottom security stack a Bilzamon. But yeah, and then or you can activate one of your opponent's Digimon, get minus 5,000. You might put it in range for one of the other effects that you have, or option cards or whatever. On deletion, place this card at the bottom of your security stack. Then if you have a tamer, you may hatch an egg in your breeding area. I think this is a really nice card, showing how Angemon turns back into an egg after his fight with Devimon in the show, right? It's a nice little callback.
Yeah.
And then here it is. On deletion, place a yellow card with vaccine and strength from your hand to the bottom of your security stack. So it's basically a recovery as well. So
Yeah, it's a cheeky little recovery.
So
and
yeah.
sets you up to put a Patamon in raising and then take it out next turn and just immediately go into an Angemon.
That could
It
be really
loops
strong.
itself, basically.
I think depending on what color and how the Salamon line works, this deck could definitely see a lot of play already in BT-14, but then even more play in BT-15. I can see it becoming like a real top contender. It's a really strong deck against, like the removal effects are really strong against a lot of the meta as well. Most of the meta can't protect itself from being put into security. So yeah, it's a very interesting set. It's actually a slightly shorter set than smaller set than most of the recent ones that we've had. I think it's like 104 cards in total, something like that. But yeah, that's our set review. How do you feel overall about the set as a whole, Frank?
I think it's alright. It's a step in an interesting direction, so it's going to take a few sets for this ace stuff, I think, to actually pick up properly. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at the same time, because it means the power creep isn't just, oh, it's a whole new set, therefore we bin off these decks and we just play the new stuff. Like, I think we really need it to be like a more slow progression. So hopefully we see from the next few sets that they're just trying to support and add pieces rather than add all new decks. Because that's kind of what the previous metas have done. They've just gone, right, well, you know that deck that was top of the format last time? Not that anymore, it's this.
Yeah,
Which
I get what you
maybe someone will figure out something with this set, but I don't think it's going to be knocking anything off of the top block.
No, I think it's only going to be adding. I feel like the Gomamon stuff is going to be very strong. I think the green stuff sleeper, but I feel like I can pilot it quite well.
I feel like a lot of it adds into decks rather than makes their own.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. To be fair, that's a very good point.
Which I think is, I suppose that's the Lugamon stuff, which is supposed to be its home. It's trying to make dark animals good and giving them a good boss monster.
Yeah.
In Fenrir.
Ever feel like you're ready?
Lugamon.
I think I think you're exactly right. I just hope that the ace mechanic won't be too annoying to have to deal with.
We'll have to see
as
what
an
they do
opponent
with
as well.
because currently counter only activates Blast Digivolve, but they're definitely going to have hand counters that will do other effects at some point, I bet. I don't think they'll do that for the first few sets, or first couple sets of adding this new counter mechanic, but I have a feeling eventually the counter won't only be Blast Digivolves, it will be other effects.
Yeah.
And at that point we need to see how that handles.
Yeah, that can be a bit wild.
And I think, like I said, they'll probably stick to just Blast Digivolving in counters to start with.
I think
And
it's
then,
an exciting change for sure. I think that it's a step hopefully in the right direction for Digimon. One of the things I'm most excited about is just getting training boosts, because they're going to be the box toppers for us in the English set. And having more consistency to a lot of the decks will change, I think, how decks are created as well, so it'll be very interesting. Anyways, we'll probably wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we'll put out something again soon, but yeah, unless anything big comes out, I don't think it'll be news-wise. It'll probably be talking about the games or the state of the meta, or opening hopefully EX4 if it comes on time. But thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.